Hey, second graders, happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well today. It's been pretty rainy most of the day, but there was some sun breaks in there. So I just went on a quick walk with the dogs, and kids went on a bike ride. So there has been some clear time, which is good. Hopefully you've had a chance to get some exercise outside or run around inside the house or do something like that. So we've got some things coming up I want to make sure you know about. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and tomorrow is Mrs. Copeland's Writing Wednesday. And I would really, really, really encourage you guys to make sure that you Zoom with her tomorrow at 1 o'clock for her Writing Wednesday. On Thursday and Wednesday, you're going to be assigned writing a friendly letter to Mr. Bond. And you're going to be thinking about what rule at Sacagawea you would like to either change or get rid of or add to make our school a better community. And tomorrow, Mrs. Copeland, during her Writing Wednesday time, is going to be helping brainstorm ideas. She's going to review the different parts of a friendly letter and even help you guys get started on your letter. So I would really, really, really encourage you. Make sure you go tomorrow. I'll make sure that I'll put the link in Seesaw so that you can see her tomorrow. And it would be a really good chance for you to get a jump start on your assignment and get some extra help from a teacher. And I'm sure she'd love to see you. So that's tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then on Thursday, we'll have my office hours, and we'll be working again on math. And last week and this week, we're focusing on money, but also adding and subtracting money. And so on Thursday, we're going to be working on how to make change. So we're going to act like you're buying something for a certain amount of money, and then we have to figure out how much money that you're going to get back. So it'll be fun activity. It'll be really interactive. So make sure you come to that at 2 o'clock on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have our class circle, and we're going to have two very special guests at our class meeting on Friday at 2 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. I promise you it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to be super duper excited to see who it is. This person's never been in one of our Zoom meetings before. Actually, two people. Never been in our Zoom meeting before. So make sure you come on Friday, again at 2 o'clock. And for each day, for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, as always, I'll put the link inside Seesaw. So all you have to do is click on that, and then you'll be able to join for whether it's Mrs. Copeland's Writing Wednesday or for Thursday's open house or my office hours for working with money, or Friday for our class circle. So now that we're all caught up and all the fun, exciting things we're doing, let's move on to Penelope Peabody. So I gave you a clue on Friday, and a lot of you guys have gotten back to me today. I was super excited. Here's the clue. Let me get my list pulled up before I forget. Okay, here's the list that, here's the clue that I gave you on Friday. I just drove into the caves at the Carlsbad Caverns. It was quite dark in there, and I spilled coffee on my map of the United States. Now I can't read the name of the state that I'm visiting. It borders 5 states: Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Texas, and Oklahoma. It also borders another country too. Do you know where I am? Please tell me which state I'm in. Well, first of all, Penelope, you have a map, so that's good, but maybe you should use it a little bit more. Sounds like she's always getting lost. We always have to tell her where she's at. My goodness. Second of all, super cool. I never knew that a state bordered 5 other states and a country. That's kind of cool. So a lot of you got back to me. These students got this clue correct. Marley, Lucas, Adelaide, Emerson, Weston, Bennett, Raven, and I believe my mom also did, but I don't think I put her name on the list. I guess we'll have to see. All right, so Penelope, you are lost in New Mexico is where she's at. So here's the map of the United States. And New Mexico is this one right here. And you can see, look, here's it borders Texas, barely Oklahoma, but it does, Colorado, Arizona. And then this right here, you would think would be an ocean, because this is an ocean right here. But actually, this right here is the Gulf over here. But on this part of Texas, all the way up here, this is all Mexico. So Texas borders Mexico. So does New Mexico, you see here, Arizona and California. So this right down here actually extends, and it's another country. It's Mexico. So she was in New Mexico. Now she's lost again. Penelope Peabody, what are we going to do with you? All right, so here's your new clue. Let's see if you can figure out where she is this week. All right, here we go. This is clue number 17. Yesterday afternoon, I saw Crater Lake. I wanted to go diving to the bottom, but someone told me it would be nearly impossible. It's the deepest lake in the United States, over 2,148 feet deep. Woo! I asked a nice stranger what state I'm in. He said, "You're in the Beaver State, of course." I checked my map, but there's no state called Beaver. The poor man must be a little confused. I'm lost yet again. Which state am I traveling through this time? All right, here's your clue. Few things you could be looking up, of course. Crater Lake. We've actually talked about Crater Lake before. We've talked about how, too, it's actually an extinct volcano that filled up with rainwater. Very cool. And then also another thing to look up is the Beaver State. A couple of things you could be looking out for to see if you can figure out where Penelope is. All right, let me know your answers. Get back to me by Friday so that I can say your name if you get it correct. All right, so we've been reading The One and Only Bob, and I'm going to continue a couple more chapters today. All right, this one, I think I left off, last chapter I read was called Early Days, and it was just kind of talking a little bit about what Bob remembered when he was younger, and this next one is called Boss. My mom wasn't much for names. She had a lot of litters. I guess she'd run out of ideas. My brother first was Natch, the firstborn. Runt, my youngest bro, was the last. Dot had a little spot on her back, and Yip was always complaining. I was Rowdy, goes without saying, and that left my oldest sister. We just called her Boss. Boss was small but mean, with a distinctive sharp-sounding bark. She would outmaneuver any of us to the best spot for dining. I admired her grit, even if she did get on my nerves. When we got a bit older and less blind and a little more cocky, I fought her off occasionally, but mostly Boss won. She was fearless, that pup. The next one is called Alone. The truck happened without warning one night. They threw us in a box and left my mom behind. I can still hear her frantic howls. I landed in a muddy ditch. It was a cloudy night, nearly freezing. Even the moon had abandoned me. And the smells. Everything was so wild and unknown. Animals with big jaws and bigger appetites. Birds that swooped in to kill. Death and life all mixed up together. I searched for my siblings until the truth became clear. I was utterly alone. Next one is called Cars. The next morning I began my slow journey, moving through the tall, wet grass, my limbs stiff from the cold. Now and then I drink from a muddy puddle or gnaw on some grass. By evening I was wobbly with hunger and thirst. I followed the highway. Every time a four-wheeled creature roared by, I froze in fear. And yet, this is what slays me. I knew that cars meant humans, and humans meant the possibility of living, just as much as they meant the possibility of dying. The next one is called The Owl. Darkness had fallen when it came out of nowhere. The owl. A shadow in a shadow. They don't make a sound, you know, not a single sound. It's quite impressive when you think about it. Here's a picture of an owl. Next one is called Luck. Just as her talons, those marvelous weapons, raked my fur, I caught my right foot in a small hole and stumbled. If she'd gotten hold of my body, I wouldn't be here. But all she managed to do was grab my tail. Only time in my life I've regretted my handsome hindquarters. I was airborne, hanging upside down, dizzy and dazed, and just crazy enough to think, hey, I'm actually flying, before the terror hit full force. I caught a whiff of other animals below. Later, I found out that those were pocket gophers, but back then I just knew I was smelling something completely foreign. The owl must have decided the gophers would make a satisfying meal. She let loose her grip, and I plummeted to earth. All right, the last one I'm going to read today is called More Luck. Maybe it was my puppy fat, or my soft bones, or my incredible good fortune. But I didn't die. Didn't even break anything. I'd flown twice in my short life and lived to tell the tale. All right, the next one is called Will, and I will start that one tomorrow. Again, make sure you check out Mrs. Copeland's Writing Wednesdays tomorrow so you can get some additional help on writing a letter to Mr. Bond. And let me know where you think Penelope Peabody is. And have a great night, and I will see ya tomorrow. Bye, guys.